4 years later, in 1582, Valignano's student Matteo Ricci arrived. Accompanied by his classmate Michel Ruggieri, Ricci visited Zhaoqing. The governor, Wang Pan, welcomed them and presented them with 2 plaques for their house and church: Pure Land from the West and Heavenly Flower Temple. With a strong sense of mission and passion for China, Ricci immersed himself in the ancient Chinese classics while traveling around the country, personally experiencing local customs and culture.
Ricci came to China. He believed, I am a member of the clergy. I should dress and look like Chinese clergy. The religious figures he met were Buddhist monks. For 10 years, he shaved his head and wore the clothes of Buddhist monks. When he discovered that the people really respected scholars instead of monks, he started dressing like a Confucian scholar. He let others know that he was a scholar and started exchanging ideas with other scholars. He soon made many friends among the scholars.
After living like this for 19 years, Ricci finally amassed enough goodwill from the Chinese to become a foreigner of strong intellect and moral standing. In 1601, Ricci finally received permission to enter Beijing.
Unlike other missionaries who tried to impose Christianity on top of Chinese culture, Ricci believed that there were certain seeds within the culture. He wanted to discover elements within Chinese culture that were compatible with the truth of Jesus Christ and start from there. He felt that the teachings of Confucius and faith in Jesus Christ were compatible and could work together in many areas. The Confucian ethics and values of respecting others and revering the heavens were all acceptable.
He would quote the classic Confucian text, the doctrine of the mean. The ceremonies of sacrifices to heaven and earth are meant for the service of the sovereign on high. He believed that the sovereign on high, worshipped by the ancient Chinese, was God. On the basis of Ruggieri's The Veritable Record of the Lord of Heaven, Ricci wrote the true meaning of the Lord of Heaven. He tried to incorporate Chinese cultural leanings while providing a clear and concise introduction to Catholic theology. This is another important point. Ricci and others were not only devoted priests, but also distinguished scholars. Ricci brought the eye-opening diorama, chiming clock, sundial, and world map to China. He introduced Western hydraulics, artillery, astronomy, music, and perspective drawing to the Chinese. He wrote and translated dozens of texts to Chinese, including astronomy, surveying, geometry, arithmetic, Western ethics, culture, and philosophy. Under the influence of missionaries such as Ricci, Lazzaro Cataneo, and Joao de Roca, some Ming Dynasty ministers, including Shu Guangqi, Li Shuisao, and Yang Tinwen, were baptized. Shu Guangqi was the Grand Imperial Secretary. He was the first national leader of China who was both scientifically literate and of the Christian faith.
Zhu Guangqi was always asking questions and hoping to absorb Western knowledge. Ricci told him, if you don't understand Euclid's elements, you might not be able to understand Western science and knowledge because Western logic is different from Chinese logic. Zhu decided to study elements and helped Ricci translate it into Chinese. He was a farmer and often encountered natural disasters that caused suffering. He wanted to understand how to solve these practical problems. Through the missionaries, he learned and taught people how to grow crops less likely to fail, such as tomatoes and peanuts.
这种学问累积起来好多年，最后他写了一本非常有影
He
响。
accumulated this type of knowledge for many years and wrote the influential comprehensive book, Complete Treatise on Agricultural Administration. Some say that through this treatise and his many years of research, Xi began a green revolution, increasing the population of China.
我的人口增加。徐光启跟利玛窦
Xi and Ricci are inextricably intertwined. If there were no Xi, there probably would be no Ricci, at least not a Ricci with such large contributions. On the other hand, if there were no Ricci, Xi's contributions would probably also be smaller. Ricci should be one of our Catholic saints, but we also feel that Xi should accompany him as a saint, because their collaboration is indisputable.
Xu said, "If my countrymen could fear God, serve God, would we not be able to revive the age of the sage emperors?" In 1616, the Nanjing Church incident occurred. Allegations were made against the missionaries.
偶尔反对这些传教士不能够接受耶稣的。
Those opposed to missionaries and unable to accept faith in Jesus spread rumors, accusations, and even formal charges against the missionaries. Every time this happened, Xi Guangqi used his own life as a guarantee. He defended the innocent and good character of the missionaries and offered to be punished alongside them if they were found otherwise.
真的是有问题，他自己愿意跟他们一起受苦，一起有同样的一个结果啊。
Together with Ricci, government official Li Zhichao translated 2 mathematical textbooks into Chinese and edited a multi-volume anthology on the fundamentals of Catholicism. Li had concubines. Ricci refused to baptize them until Li finally chose to separate from them at the age of 46. Imperial Inspector Yang Tinwin was originally Buddhist. After conversion into Christianity, he was criticized by the Buddhist community. He responded, "Christianity is first and foremost the worship of God, and secondly, the loving of neighbors as oneself. This is completely in line with Confucian teachings." In the late Ming and early Qing dynasties, Catholicism and the Chinese government went through a rare honeymoon phase.